Welcome back to News USA. It is February 18th, 2021. And we've got an interesting story here that we're going to touch on. And it is about Lion Ted. Isn't that what Mr. Trump used to call him, former President Trump? Lion Ted, that was his nickname for him. It appears that he's got himself caught up in another scandal, another situation, even after the January 6th debacle that happened there at the Capitol. He seems to be under fire again. There's actually calls for him to actually resign. Probably won't. He seems to be too arrogant of a person to do that. But apparently, while over 3 million people, if I'm not mistaken, are without power, 21 dead, and just a horrible situation with this with these storms going on across the country. Lion Ted has apparently decided that he wanted to go to Cancun, Mexico, and to escape the problems and the issues that are going on in his home state of Texas. While his constituents and his supporters and everybody else is struggling and having a hard time, he decided that he wanted to go to somewhere warm during the cold weather and down to Cancun. Now, after it was exposed that he took this trip down to Cancun, which he was supposed to be there until Saturday, is what's being reported. But he decided to come back after he, came under fire from social media and even a lot of his supporters. He decided to go ahead and fly back early. But what's more interesting is that his excuse is that his daughters wanted to go for a vacation, and he was just being a good dad and obliging them and just, giving them what they wanted because he wanted to be a good dad. I mean, I've been around a pretty good amount of time, not old or anything, but I've been around a little bit of time, and I've seen people, blame things on their kids or, make excuses and use their kids as that excuse. But if I'm not mistaken, his daughters are, I believe, 10 or 12 years old, or something like that. Either they have to be that entitled to where they know that, hey, I want to go to Cancun, or, he's lying. And I believe it's the latter. I believe he's lying. And why he would lie on his children like that, I don't think that his 10 or 12-year-old is thinking about Cancun, Mexico, unless they just been there that many times and they just know it's wonderful. That is a possibility. He is probably well-to-do. A lot of these politicians go in, just as humble as you or I, or just as normal as you or I, and they come out millionaires magically, all of them. I don't know how to do it. But it's a club that we might all need to try to get in, right? But blaming his daughters is unbelievable. I can't believe that he would go to that level, even after, previously in the past he had, slammed politicians for things that they were doing during crises and, vacationing or leaving while things are going on. But this is just a funny story. Funny, but not funny, because it is serious that he should be there with his people and helping them out. But it's funny that he would sit there and blame his children and put it on his daughters for. I mean, that is a true politician, man. That is a true politician. Nothing is ever my fault. I'll stoop as low to blame my own children instead of saying, you know what, I made a mistake. You know what, I should have been here with my people. I apologize. Here's what I'm going to do to fix it. Here's what I've done to help already. This, that, and the third, and move on about it. About the situation. That is a true politician. Shouldn't trust that guy if he's willing to do that and blame his kids and, get on his kid, put this whole situation on children, you know what I mean? And I don't know, after the whole situation with Trump talking about his wife, and then he bended back to Trump and, became one of his biggest supporters. It's crazy. This is the guy who was standing on the back of a truck yelling about how much he's going to, how much he supports everyone and everybody staying the fight during the whole, whatever you want to call it, insurrection during this whole thing or whatnot. But this is the same guy who, when things get rough, the cold weather is coming in, he goes somewhere warm. So that should tell you something about him. Stay tuned to News USA.